When he was called another Bradman by Bill O'Reilly, the quick-paced leg spinner that Bradman regarded as the best bowler he ever faced or saw, the media followed because after Bradman retired, the sporting public was wanting a new hero. O'Reilly's word counted. O'Reilly had seen O'Neill develop as a brilliant young stroke maker at St George, and weeks before the player's 21st birthday, the batsman became the third after Bradman and Bill Ponsford to score 1,000 runs in the 8-match Sheffield Shield season. Later that month, amid amazing pre-match interest, O'Neill went to Perth and greeted the English tourists with a century for a combined 11. Within a year, Walter Hammond was saying O'Neill was the best batsman in the world since the Second World War. O'Neill scored 45 centuries in those 188 matches. O'Neill scored the most runs in the tied Test series against the West Indies in 60-61.
Batting with the maturity of a great batsman, shackled to the cause of winning Test matches.
Before having a very good tour of England. But gradually, and on that second tour of England in 1964, he was becoming more nervous in starting his innings. And teammate Alan Davidson had said to him through the cigarette smoke in the dressing room, "Look, mate, these bowlers are more worried about you than you should be at them." O'Neill had to retire hurt in successive tests in the West Indies, where Australia lost their first Test series since England 56, but came back to continue both of those innings when X-rays showed no broken bone. In what became his final test, 2 half-centuries, one unbeaten, he suffered a fractured thumb. In a bungled world exclusive, published prematurely before he had returned to Australia, he called Charlie Griffith a thrower, something that other players believed but did not say. With more discernment coming into his batting, he headed the Sheffield Shield averages in what became his final season. Knee injuries ultimately caused him to retire early at only 30. He did some coaching and was a radio analyst on cricket until 1994. In the winter months, many cricketers, including O'Neill, were top-class baseball players. One reason why he was a brilliant fieldsman with a bullet-like throw. O'Neill, with all his talent, didn't have an ego. He was very much a team man, a player's player. He regarded Brian Statham as the best bowler he faced. Freddie Truman took his wicket most times in Test matches, yet did not bowl the batsman out even once. O'Neill had to retire hurt from having been hit on the head only once in his whole career. Thus, he could either avoid a bouncer or play the hook stroke, arguably the most thrilling of all shots. Batting now, for health and safety considerations, is a much easier challenge because of helmets. When we look at concussion substitutes having come into cricket, the irony is that they came as a result of a batsman being hit on the helmet and not on the head without a helmet. Never dropped in a span of 42 Test matches, O'Neill met the requirement of Bradman, Australia's chief selector throughout the player's Test career, whose overriding benchmark in a player or team was always entertainment. This charismatic, graceful, stylish crowd pleaser averaged 50 in first-class cricket and 45 in Tests, when boundaries were longer, bats were lighter, pitches were not covered as they are today, and, as I say, pre-helmets. Bradman, the godfather of Australian cricket, said in a television interview in 1996, "Norman was a very fine batsman, he really was.